Good evening, Daf Kuf He Amud Aleph, 30 lines from the 30 lines down. Last thing we mentioned was a question and answer by Rava regarding if you do something halfway, what way do we look at it? Do we look at it was complete or not complete? We brought one case down regarding returning stolen items. The price went under Shavet Pruta. Now we're going to continue with another case. Hare Amru, the Chachamim said in the Mishnah on Hilchot Nazir, Nazir shegilach v'sheyesh sarot. When a Nazir finishes his term and he shaves his hair, he has to shave everything up until to the last hair. If he shaves until 2 hairs, he did not finish his shaving, he still has a chiyuv to shave. So now the question is, let's say he left 2 hairs left. Lo asav lo klum, he did not fulfill his obligation. Now there's a question. Let's say he let 2 hairs left, he shaved one and the other one fell out. Mahu, what's the halacha? Meaning, do we say that since when he shaved the last one, he only shaved one and he didn't shave off 2 hairs and therefore nothing happened? Or maybe since there's no hairs left, he did accomplish the mitzvah. Ravacha says to him, is there really a question if he shaved one hair at a time and what's the problem? If you shaved one hair at a time, he took care of it. The last one fell out, who cares? I said, no. The question is whether he had 2 left. The first one fell out by itself, and the second one he shaved. Why does that make a difference? Maybe because when he shaved, there's no more shi'ur of 2 hairs to shave. That's not considered a proper shaving. Because maybe when he was shaving, he had 2 hairs, which means he still had to shave. And now when he's shaving another time, there's no hairs. And therefore, the shaving shouldn't count. So maybe there is no mitzvah, and he'd have to wait for the hair to grow back and then do it again. Then he answers it. There's no hair, there's no shaving. The same format as before. The Gemara says, there's no hair, then there was a good shaving. Where it says, even though there's no hair here, mitzvah giluach enkan, he didn't get the mitzvah of a shaving, and therefore he'd have to redo it. Said in Mishnah, if they had a barrel with a certain, let's say, we'll call it a foot. You have a foot-size hole in the barrel, 12 inches, tum'ah can pass through it and make the contents come in. So now let's say you have a hole in the barrel, a foot hole, but the sediments of the wine of the barrel sealed it. It saved it from becoming tameh. What if it sealed half of it? So now, technically you have a foot, but since it sealed half, now you don't have a foot of able to go through. So would it count or not as a save? He's trying to bring a proof in this case. So if you have a barrel that had a hole and then the sediments covered it, pick a cup is mura, or if the sediments do it, but rather you put it like a branch into it, the tumah can go through it until he puts clay around the vine to hold it in. There's 2 vines, to smear the sides, also between the branches. Sounds like only if you add the clay, that's considered sealing it. The fact that if you do not put the clay in there, it sounds like that half a sealage does not count. Trying to bring a proof that it doesn't work. That's not a good comparison. The reason why in the case of the branches, you have to put the branches, you have to put the clay to seal it, is because otherwise it will move. But let's say the sediments covered half, it would work. And therefore, it's not a proof either way. Okay, another part. Hare Amru the Chachamim said in Mishnah, Gazal Hametz V'Alal Pesach, someone stole Hametz and then Pesach passed. Omer lo, was able to tell the owner, here's the Hametz, as is, not my problem that you can't use it. Ba'irav has a question on this. Nishba alav mahu. What if he swore falsely about having stolen it? Given the do we say that since the chametz was stolen from the thief before he returned it, he'd have to pay money to the owner, and therefore he's denying money? Or maybe since over here the chametz is in the property, so therefore he has to return that is is considered dirt. But look, therefore when he's denying it, when he's lying, he should deny the dirt because it's worthless. So how do we look at it? Do we look at it as a potential item of money or not potential item of money? And the difference is whether or not you have to pay back money if it's stolen. This item that was simple for Rava is pashut, obvious to Rabba. Rabba says, Shorish ganavti. Someone told his friend, you stole my ox. And he said, I didn't steal it. He said, okay, you didn't steal it. Why do you have it by you? So he gives the answer. I'm not, I didn't steal it. You told me to watch it for free. I'm doing you a favor. And he swore that he's watching it. And then he ends up admitting that he stole it. He has to bring a Korban Hashem, even though he never said it belonged to him. Because by swearing falsely, he did try to accomplish something. He didn't try to swear falsely to keep it. He did try to swear falsely to make himself patur if it would get stolen or lost. Let's say the guy answered, I am a paid watchman. And he swears and he confesses, because by swearing falsely, he's making himself patur, from if it broke or died. Let's say the guy said, I borrowed it, and he swore falsely and admitted for bringing a korban Hashem, patur. He may try to make himself patur by dying via working. Alma, we see, Afagav, the Hakaim, even though the animal is standing in the guy's possession and he admitted that the ox does not belong to him. Since if it was stolen, he'd have to pay up. Therefore, he also is, in our case, where he's by the chametz, he's also trying to block potential money. And therefore, even though it's considered dirt, since if the chametz was stolen, he'd have to pay real cash for it to the owner to return it. Therefore, he'd have to pay back cash as well. So Rabba didn't have a problem. Rabba was repeating this to somebody else regarding a guy who swore falsely, who's watching something. He asked the question. We're going to bring on a holy mood. Pasuk says that he denied it. This excludes someone who admitted to the actual item. What does that mean? Someone says, you stole my ox. I didn't steal it. So why is it by you? Pay attention. He said, either you sold it to me, you gave it to me as a gift. You sold your father sold it to me. Your father gave it to me as a gift. Ahar pariti. It chased after my cow into my property. It walked into my property by itself. I found it outside. I'm a shomer. I was a free watchman. I was a paid watchman. I was a borrower. He swears on any of these things and he swears falsely and then he admits. You my things I have to you have to deny that it belongs to you. That it does not belong to you. Sorry. You have to deny that you didn't steal it. This excludes in the case over here where you are admitting that it did not belong to you by saying whether you're watching it or found it. But over here we see that in the case of a watchman, you're patur if you said you were a watchman. Against what we said earlier. It says Amarle, Tidura. It's an insult. Called him brainless, not smart person. He wouldn't have right to say that you're over there. The Amarle Hilach. Over there, the reason why he's patur from paying the principal is because he says, here, take it back. But in our Mishnah, when did he say for the korban for lying, if swearing falsely? The Kama Daf was when the animal is not on the property and he has to go get it because something can happen to it on the way or in that time, and therefore that is considered a denial until it's returned. So now the Gemara says a few things. He says, you sold it to me. That's not admitting, right? Other cases, I found it. Here it is back. But if he says, you sold it to me, that is trying. You are trying to steal. You are trying to say that it's yours. You're not admitting that it doesn't belong to you. Because he had told him, I bought it from you, but I didn't pay you yet. If you want, you can take it back. Next question. You gave it to me, or your father gave it to me. That's not trying to admit that it doesn't belong to you. That's trying to steal it. When I says you or your father, whichever case it was, told me I'd have to do something for you, like a favor. I didn't do it, and therefore the gift has to be returned to you. Like you take it back. He says, I found it wandering and I brought it into my house. That's not the guy should tell him, what do you mean? If you found it, you have to return it to me. You're trying to steal it now. And I know I found it I lost and found. I found it. I didn't know that was yours that I should return it to you. Okay. Tanya. There's three types of false swearings. He had recognized the lost item but didn't find it. But not the finder. Meaning he saw the guy's lost animal walking into someone else's property, so he knows shit one found it, but he didn't know who that guy was. So he's like, oh, I saw it walking someone's property, but I don't know who it was. He saw whose property it was walking into, but he didn't recognize the actual animal itself. He didn't know whose animals it was. Lo bav lo mutzav. In the third case, is he recognized neither the animal nor the finder. So lo bav lo mutzav kushta ishtaba. If he didn't recognize anything, then he didn't ask swearing falsely. He didn't know. Is referring to no. He actually recognized both. What's the difference regarding these three shivot? Rabbi Ami Amar Rabbi Hanina Liftor mentioning that you're patur from paying for a false testimony. You are chayav. What's going on? Upluta the Hanitanaid Mahloket in the following Tanaim. Tanya, Hamash Biya Ed Echad. Someone brings a single ayat swear for him. Patur, you're not chayav to pay for a korban. So if there's a single ayat to testify against you, if you have a single ayat so if you have a single ayat against you and the ayat does not know the knowledge of the testimony, patur. The witness is not patur. He lies that he doesn't know anything. He's patur. So what does that mean? If in general you need two edim. However, if one ed testifies about money cases, you can make the other party swear. So therefore, since one ed is hiding his testimony, we don't say he's chayav for hiding his testimony because a single ed can only make the other guy swear. But that doesn't mean you're automatically going to win. He says you are chayav. The fact that you could cause benefit of money or loss of money, that's considered actual cash, and therefore you're chayav. That's not good enough, and therefore you are patur. So therefore, Shmuel would hold like Rabbi Elazar, and therefore when you're trying to stop someone from getting back their lost object, you'd be chayav, and Rabbi Chanina would agree with Tana, come on, therefore you're patur. Interesting. Someone denies having a pikadon, something your deposit by your house, and really it's in your house. Now, you're considered a stealer, robber, but you have to pay if an onus happens. So if teaches us regarding a deposit, if you deny it, you over here know that you're chayav for punishment for denying that the items by you. As I know there's an isur, like a lav and isur to lying. You should not deny falsely. My lav the onish kifira sounds like there's in punishment for the denial itself, even without a shivua. So how can we say everything is regarding shivua? The onish shivua is referring to a punishment of the shivua for swearing falsely, not just denying it. Whereas it's a big problem. Why? The second part of the Braita teaches you the ishtabah, we're talking about swearing falsely. Which sounds like the first case is talking about punishment where you just denied it without swearing falsely. We see in the second part of the Braita, Vinish bar al shekir. Person shall make an avirah and he'll swear falsely. You should pay back with a knas of 20%. We know a punishment for swearing falsely. As harami, how do we know where it's a lav to swear falsely? You should not lie. Since the second Braita is referring to swearing falsely, the first part is referring to where he did not swear falsely. And therefore, you see that there's a punishment of being chayav even of an honest. against Rav Sheshat, well, you'd be patur. Amr would say, both cases, I'm not swearing falsely. Kancha Hoda, in the second case, he admits and he confesses that he swore falsely. Kancha Ba'udim, in the first part, witnesses testify that he swore falsely. So, Atu Edim Chayav Ba'unsin, if Edim testified that he lied, then he's Chayav and honest. But he confessed, he's Chayav for the principal, 20% fee, Kuban Hashem, but Patur from honest. Okay. Let's say the other guy, you're in a situation where you're trying to make the other guy swear, but the other guy has a history of not swearing good. What does that mean? Whether he previously swore falsely by testimony, or he swore falsely by deposit, or even if he swears in vain, often, or at all. I'm very scared to swear people in general. Oh, I swear to God. Big problem. That's the case, according to Shishat, that a person, a shomer who swears about a deposit is considered as a robber even without swearing falsely. He denies having it, even without swearing falsely. That sounds like only the denial is considered making him pasul from Eidut, from testifying. Not the swearing falsely against Rav Sheshat. Over there, it's talking about a case where it wasn't by him. He's denying he doesn't have it because it's in the street, in the swamp, and therefore, that's not considered denial. He says, I'll avoid this guy. I'll go get it afterward. Right? So it's not by you. Oh, I swear I don't have it. But it's true. He didn't have it. So therefore, technically, he didn't swear falsely. You should know this is true. Someone who denies taking a loan and is caught, he is still kasher le'edut, assuming he didn't swear falsely. Because technically, I don't have the money that you gave me or whatever it is. That's not denying it because technically the money that was given to him is not there. However, the pikadon, if someone swears falsely, but got a pikadon where that gold bar is still in your house because you're watching the gold bar, that is straight up a lie, and that is something that did not leave your possession, and therefore you pasul from edut. Okay. Amar Ilfa says, Shivua Kona. A Shivua is Kona. It sounds like that when a Shomer swears about something that it's not there, he's Konaet. Shivua Hidikanya, Vakfirala Kanya. It sounds like only if you swear falsely, you are stealing it and acquiring it, but denying it, you won't. Same case in the swamp, and therefore it's not a problem. It's just denying it because he wants to more time. But then the answer, what does it mean you're acquiring it? Someone told him you have $100 of mine in your possession. It's not by me. Then Ishbani swears, it didn't catch him. Patur. If the owner accepts it and does not pay. What does that mean? Once the owner swears, then he doesn't have to pay money. So two, over here, means that the guy accepts the ownership through swearing, and therefore he's patur from paying. Right? So the pasuk is teaching you that once the guy has sworn, and the claim is now falling apart, he's patur even if witnesses come against him. And also now he's patur if there's an honest etc. that happened, if he confesses afterward. Right? So therefore, in regarding to an honest, he may agree to Rav Sheshat that a guy who's a shomer, he denies it, he'll be chayav for an honest even without swearing falsely. All right, we'll stop here.